Facebook Live. We're going to see if anyone's going to join us, and hopefully you're going to have some equipment ready to work out with me. If you haven't got any equipment, you can do just the moves. I'm going to use dumbbells today, but you can use water bottles if you want to, or anything, a couple of tins of beans, obviously, because you've got about 600 in your cupboard to choose from. We're going to use some resistance bands, and this is the sort of thing that you should have if you're going to work out at home. Not a bad thing for rehab as well. If you've got bad shoulders, bad necks, hips, knees, all of these exercises you can tone down. These are the other sort of resistance bands, which are in a nice big loop, and they're quite flexible as well. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. The first one on my Facebook Lives, so there may be only a couple of you joining in, but that's not a big problem because we're going to try and build up and help people from working out at home. Small space, not a big posh gym. You can do this in your kitchen, you can do this in your home, not a problem. Okay, now I'm also going to try and explain why we do certain things with exercise. We're going to start with a little march here, and hopefully by the end of the workout, which will be a nice short, quick and easy one, you'll know exactly why you're working out. So when you start any exercise, you need to raise your heart rate. And the reason you need to raise your heart rate is you need more blood going around your body, and body needs oxygen. That's what you need to remember. So what you're actually doing is you're making your heart rate go up to pump more oxygen around your body, because your muscles need oxygen, your lungs obviously do as well. You're also warming up your joints. So that's another thing you need to do. So all the joints have a bit of fluid, so you make those a bit warmer. And then you raise your heart rate and you raise your aerobic capacity. Your lungs will take in more oxygen, and that gets into the blood and gets you working. Okay, so if you're seated, you can still do the moves. You can still just lift your legs and move your arms. So I'm trying to make this good for everybody. And then you're going to raise your arms above your head and start pumping your arms like this. Now, raising your arms above your heart helps us increase that heart rate. So that's why we do these sort of things above our head. And you just keep marching. If you want to make it harder, if you think this is a bit too easy, it's only the warm-up, don't forget. You can take some weights and put them in your hand, which would be great. Okay. So then we're going to move a little bit more the whole body with a squat. All you're really doing is pushing your bum backwards. Obviously I'm looking at the camera, but you do need to look forwards. If you're trying to check out your form, that can take your technique in a different way. You want to look forward when you do a squat. And this is really good. It's a full body exercise. If you want to make it harder, obviously you can put some weights in your hand, but this is still just the warm-up. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is going to do a little bit of sideways movement. So we're going to go down and then lift our leg up a little bit. Down, lift our leg up a little bit. So you want your legs moving out to the side. If you can't do this, if you haven't got the flexibility, don't worry. You can just stand and move them a little bit to the side. So, like I say, just trying to work this out for people of all abilities. Just moving out to the side. That's good. So we've done a little bit of marching, a little bit of squatting. We'll go back to a little jog. Or running in place, as they call it in America. I don't know where you're tuning in from. So this is going to get your heart rate up a little bit more. It's fantastic. Hope you're enjoying it on Facebook Live. We're all enjoying our self-isolation. 2 meters distance from everybody else. There you go. So you should feel a little bit warm, that's good. So then we're going to get a resistance band. Now if you have no resistance band, you can use just a snooker cue, a broom handle, a mop handle, and we're going to go from front to back, from our thigh. Ooh. It's live, so we won't have that. Excellent. My handle's fallen off as well, so that's good. And we're going to go front to back. Now if you haven't got the resistance band, you can still do the movement. I'll just show you without the resistance band. You can still go like this. I've lost my camera person, which is a shame. So we're going to go like this. But if you can do it with your resistance band, go backwards and forwards. I'm going to do 10 of these. Hope you're joining along. If you want to put a little comment, a like or a message, that would be fantastic. Just so I know that you're following along and you can hear me and you're enjoying it. Well, you could be working out, so you might not be near the phone, so that's not a big problem. So have we got anybody? So I've lost one person already, but there's one sticking with it. Well done, that's good. It is our first one, which is good. So that was front to back there. Then we can do chest expanders. Again, if you haven't got a resistance band, just pull out your arms and just do the movement. And what you're trying to do is get your shoulder blades to touch at the back, and it makes this nice and stretched. So you can do it with a resistance band. That's good. So make sure your shoulder blades are touching at the back. So what we're doing is we're making these muscles work, and we're also stretching the muscles at the front. Now this is just brilliant if you have bad posture. Most people's bad posture is because their shoulders are forward. They're working on a computer or on their phone too much. This really stretches it out. That's good. It's a nice stretch. Now if you have the flexibility, you can then put your arms above your head and you can stretch behind your back. And you make a T shape. These resistance bands are actually pretty cheap. So if you are working out at home, first time ever, I would definitely recommend, I make no commission on these resistance bands by the way. I think if we put a link down the bottom, we might get 3p for every £10 you spend. So I'm not going to become a millionaire. But these are TheraBands for therapy and for exercising. And the idea is that you're doing a T shape. And the technical reason for that is to get your shoulder blades to rotate, because that's what takes your arms up. And then we're going to do what's called draw the sword. This rotates your shoulder. Thumbs are touching each other, and then you're like you're hitchhiking. I'm going to do 10 one way. So I'm just showing you, you can do it at your own pace. And I think with the Facebook Live, as I say, this is the first one I've done. I think there's a video afterwards. I think it stays on the post for you to watch later. But anyway, I think we've got 3 people at the moment watching. Not sure if they're exercising right now. Is it 3 still? 3 goes 3, 2, 3, 2. So somebody's deciding to log in and then listen to me and fall asleep, switch off. So it's 3, 4. Make sure you, if you're tired, just have a rest. This you can do seated as well, by the way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Like I say, if you haven't got the band, just do the movements, that's good. So I'm feeling my shoulders warming up. And you can take the band behind you, and this will work your chest. Your chest is actually bringing your arms together at the front there. Which is an excellent exercise to do, and you can make this harder by pulling the band a bit tighter, or you can make it easier by having it less tight. So this is a nice upper body workout. We've got the shoulders going, we've got the chest going. We did a bit of squatting and a little bit of running on the spot. The idea is to try and get everything working. So that's it for the resistance band for now. So okay, you can use a weight, like I say, a bottle of water, a tin of food, or you can have no weight whatsoever, or if you're lucky you've got equipment at home, you've got a dumbbell. And now we're going to do a little bit of working the obliques. So just bringing your knee up to your elbow. I'm going to do 10 of these. 5, 6, 7. I hope my sound's still working okay. 9, 10, that's good. And then we swap over and we go 10 on the other side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. That's good. Okay. Then you can take whatever you're using as a weight, hold it in both hands, and then you're going to bring your knees to the front and do alternate legs. You can do 20 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're halfway there. If you're going a bit slower, don't worry. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you want to have a rest, have a rest. If you need a drink, just take a little drink of water. And we're going to rest for about 30 seconds. Heart rate should be up, your breathing should be up, you should be feeling a bit hotter. And just to quickly explain, we're always trying to exercise going this way and going sideways. We're trying to do a bit of bending and a little bit of twisting. So with this weight, what we're going to do now is a little bit of twisting. So we're going to go down to the ground and then up. And this is called wood chop. So take your weight to the floor and then to the sky across your body. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So thank you for logging in to Facebook Live. If you come back to my feed, there is always workouts on PDFs and some interactive workouts that are free for you to follow. 5, 6. Any comments you want to make, please do. And 10. So they're called wood chops. So we're going from down to up and slightly rotating. Now we're going to take the weight. If you have dumbbells, you can hold them out. The longer you hold them out, the harder it is. You could take a tin of beans, or you could just use your arms. I haven't got much room, as you can see earlier. I knocked the Swiss ball off. But like I say, it's our first Facebook Live, so we're just going to rotate, which is really good for the abs, the core. When people talk about core stability, what you're talking about is the muscles, the mid-region, where there's no bones really going round like in the ribs. And what that does, it keeps your back straight if you've got good core stability. So this should actually help your posture. And there you go. So just to quickly plug the Patreon site, if you feel like donating £3 a month to keep these things going, there is a site where you can link and do that. And now we're going to go to 2 weights. It's getting tougher now, so if this is too hard, I do apologise. These are called squat thrusters. And you just imagine that you're putting a couple of suitcases down and then you're reaching to the sky. And you can do 10 of these. 2, 3. If you haven't got weights, you can still do the movement. 5. Hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for sticking by. Have this visualization of everybody at home. He's on Facebook Live, look at him. 9. I think that's 10. So they're squat thrusters. Then we're going to do a move that's slightly different. Keeping the weights at your shoulder this time. Squat down and then push up. So your arms don't have that momentum of going up. So it's slightly harder. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's excellent. I hope you're enjoying it. So these weights are quite light. I'm going to show you the move and then you can include weights if you want to. So we're going to hold the weights like that, or you can just hold your hands. You're going to put your leg back and you're twisting slightly. So your palms are facing you, and then when you go back with the other leg, you can see the back of your hands. Hope that's nice and clear. This is a pretty hard move, and we'll alternate legs at the back. So one of those, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you might have found that very difficult. If you did, then the weight's too heavy, and you could just do it with your hands and just do the movement. So all of this is just to get you moving at the moment, and if we get very busy, obviously we'll try and do lots of variation. So now I'm going to go back to one weight. Nice thing just to improve and include your lower limbs. I might get tangled up in the mic here. We're just going to go under. Just going to go under. I'm going to do 20. So one of the things I've learnt already is it's difficult to count and also do my commentary. So we're going to do about 20. You can also do it with time. So one of the things with exercise is you could do 40 seconds of an exercise and then have a 20-second rest, and then go on to the next 40 seconds of exercise. But the bottom line is to try and do something to keep you moving when the gym is shut. And for guys and girls that want to get a bit more muscle tone and strength, we will do some strength exercises to get the muscles getting bigger. But today it's just about a little bit of movement and getting used to the system. So that's pretty tough. It's really good. Now I'm not sure, the next thing we're going to do, no weights involved, is we're going to move to the side. And we're just going to push our leg So all exercise really should have some front to back movement, not going to get too technical, and some sideways movement as well. So I've lost count, but I think we're going to do about 10. Hope you can see that okay. And we're going off the camera. That's good. Okay, and then obviously we're going to go the other way. So all we're doing here is keeping one leg quite straight and pushing off. Obviously if you've got bad knees, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. And we're going to focus a bit more on some exercises without weights in a second, just to get the limbs nice and mobile. That's good. Hope you're enjoying it. If you have got any comments, feel free. Any suggestions to make it better, that would be good. We'll try and make this work. Next thing is called toy soldier. So what we're going to do is kick out and try and get our feet up to our hands. So obviously if you can't get your legs up, if you're doing this, that's not a problem. And if you're very flexible, then you can get your legs all the way up. Toy soldier. Excellent. So the next thing we're going to do is a reverse lunge. Getting a little bit more technical now, but there you go. And that's where you take your foot back. If you just imagine that the knee you're taking, you want to just go towards the ground, but not actually touch the ground. That's good. So I've learnt, don't wear your slippery socks when you're doing Facebook Live. I left my socks out so people could see where my feet were. So I messed that one up. So my technique might not be as great as I'd like. So when you're lunging, you don't want your knees to travel in front of your foot. This knee stays above your ankle. And it's your back leg that's doing all the work. And then you raise your arms up. Again, to make it harder, you can put some weights in your hand. And that's called a reverse lunge, which is good. So the other thing, we're going to do a little bit on balance now, just a little bit. If your feet are very wide, that gives you a nice stable area for you to balance on. If they're close together, it's harder for you to balance. That works your core more. So if you're doing any exercise where you're like this, it's not as good for your core as if you're like this. You can do this with a weight actually, and you can just take it around your body with your feet together. And the heavier the weight, the better for this one, because what your body is doing is when you take the weight out, it's stopping you from bending over, so your core is working. We call this around the world. So tomorrow we're doing kettlebells. This is mainly a kettlebell workout, but you can do it with any weight, and then you're going to go back and do 15 seconds of round the world. So I'm just going to check, have we got anyone watching? That's good. Hopefully there's some comments, it'd be nice. Be kind to me. Or you could be working out so hard you haven't got time to write something, so that's good. Excellent. So now we've got our one weight. What we're going to do is another full body exercise. You put your arm out, take the weight down, bring it up. And we call this one Statue of Liberty. So 10 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's good. And then you swap, arm out, and away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. So now we're going to go back to a good old-fashioned two-weight exercise, which is just a bicep curl. We're going to bring them up and do alternates. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I used a wide stance with my feet sort of in line with my shoulders, and then we're going to do another 10 with our feet together, and this just incorporates a bit more core work. Nearly finished. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you're trying to work out and improve muscle strength and muscle size, you need heavier weights and less reps. So you would be, and if you're working your arms and not your core, looking to just do your biceps, I would go for a wide stance with a heavier weight, and you should be looking at just being able to do maybe 6 to 8 reps to get some muscle growth. Lower reps, and also your tempo. So some people will be doing this nice and quick, and that's not a bad thing, but that will not get you bigger muscles, but they will be lean. The endurance will be good. But if you want a bit more size, then you do heavier weight and less reps. And now to improve this exercise, make it a bit more effective, you can do 10 of these. I hope you're working along just to see what difference it makes. And then you can go straight above your head and do 10, which incorporates the shoulders. And again, the heavier the weight, the smaller amount of reps you need to do. 10. Excellent, you did really well there. Now that's the weights finished with completely, and now we're just going to loosen up. So we're going to do windmills. So 5 of these. And we will concentrate on different body parts as we go. 5 back. That's good. And to improve your flexibility more, you can do 10 of these. It's fabulous. And then we're just going to stretch out. So what you're doing here is you're trying to stretch your tricep. Your tricep actually goes all the way down here and attaches. You're going to stretch that. To make that even more of a stretch, you can do a slight bend as well. And what I'm doing is I'm just pushing down and pushing my hand towards in between my scapula and my shoulder blades. That's good. And then after 20 seconds, you swap arms. Same thing. If you want to improve the stretch, you can do a little bit of a side bend if you want to. And that's good. Your heart rate should be coming down. Hopefully you enjoyed that little workout. Then you take your arm across your body. Really good. Stretch again. All these stretches you've probably seen if you've exercised before. There's always little tweaks you can do. For instance, you can do a little bit of rotation as well. And look at your hand. Nice way to calm yourself down, cool down. Hopefully you worked out to a little sweat. And then take it across. I will always do a little twist. But like I say, it's nothing bad if you're not that flexible yet to just take your arm across. A couple more stretches to do. And most of these exercises are obviously designed for Facebook Live, so we're standing in a small space. You can do most of these things seated. So what you're doing there is stretching your back. If you don't feel a stretch, then you make the circle bigger. So imagine you've got a hoop in front of you and you're just hugging it, or a tree, and you're stretching like that. That's good. You probably noticed that this now is in need of a stretch the other way. So you take your arms behind your back, interlock your fingers, push your shoulders back, chest up, look towards the sky, or if you're indoors, to the ceiling. Whenever I do this, I always think, oh, I need to paint the ceiling. It's very rare to be looking upwards like this. So what you're doing is you're pushing your shoulders backwards and your arms straight. That's good. And then you just give yourself a clap. Imagine you're coming out of a swimming pool, just to loosen up. You look at the clock and you think, right, that was good. That was 25 minutes of a little workout. So hopefully that's helped with anybody that's self-isolating or stuck indoors, or their gym is shut, just to get you moving. Please make suggestions of what you'd like to see. And tomorrow, Facebook Live, 7:30, I'll be here. Hope you will. Hope you enjoyed it.